You wake up early, you check off your to-do list, you follow all the advice from the self-improvement gurus, and yet something still feels off. That persistent emptiness, that nagging feeling that despite doing everything right, you're somehow still lost. You're not alone. And today we're going to uncover why this happens and what you can actually do about it. The first trap is what I call productivity as validation. We've been sold this idea that if we just optimize every minute of our day, success and fulfillment will follow. We track our habits, measure our progress, and fill every moment with something productive. But here's what no one tells you. Productivity was never meant to be a measure of your worth. When you sacrifice connection for completion, when your value becomes tied to what you produce rather than who you are, you're not actually progressing. You're just running faster on the same hamster wheel. Think about it. When was the last time you felt genuinely proud of yourself for just being? Not because you crushed your goals or outperformed someone else, but because you were fully present in your own life? The painful truth is that we've confused productivity with purpose. The second trap keeping you stuck is the comparison cycle. In a world where everyone broadcasts their highlight reel, your behind-the-scenes footage will always feel inadequate. What makes this particularly devastating is how it creates a moving target. You achieve something meaningful, check social media, and immediately feel behind again. But here's what's actually happening neurologically. Each time you compare your progress to someone else's finished product, you're essentially hijacking your brain's reward system. You're teaching your mind that nothing you do will ever be enough. And the most insidious part? This cycle doesn't just affect how you feel. It fundamentally changes what you value and pursue. You stop chasing what would actually fulfill you and start chasing what you think will impress others. A recipe for perpetual emptiness. The third reason you still feel lost is what psychologists call external validation dependency. When your sense of success comes primarily from outside approval, whether that's from parents, bosses, or strangers on the internet, you're building your identity on shifting sand. Think about your proudest achievements. Now ask yourself, if no one ever knew about them, would they still matter to you? If your answer is no, you've identified the problem. External validation isn't inherently bad. We're social creatures who crave connection and recognition. The issue arises when it becomes your primary source of worth. This dependency creates a painful paradox. The more you need others' approval to feel worthy, the less authentic your choices become. And the less authentic your choices, the more disconnected you feel from your true self. No wonder you feel lost. You've been following someone else's map. The final and perhaps most profound reason for feeling lost is what I call meaning misalignment. Our culture celebrates certain markers of success: the promotion, the relationship status, the material possessions. And when you achieve these things without questioning if they actually matter to you, you end up somewhere beautiful but empty. This isn't about laziness or ingratitude. It's about recognizing that genuine fulfillment comes from alignment between your actions and your deepest values. The problem isn't that you're doing things wrong. It's that you might be excelling at the wrong things, climbing a ladder leaning against the wrong wall. And the hardest truth to accept? No one else can tell you which wall is right for you. So if productivity obsession, comparison, external validation, and meaning misalignment are keeping you lost, what's the way forward? First, redefine success on your own terms. Ask yourself, if there were no social media to share it on, no one to impress, what would I still want to pursue? Second, practice presence over productivity. Your worth isn't measured by how much you accomplish, but by how completely you show up for your life. Third, build your inner compass. Start noticing which activities drain you versus which ones leave you feeling energized and aligned. These aren't random, they're data points guiding you toward your authentic path. And finally, embrace uncertainty as an opportunity. Feeling lost isn't a failure, it's feedback. It's your inner wisdom telling you something needs to change. Not everything, but something. The truth is, you weren't meant to have it all figured out. The people who seem like they do are often just better at hiding their doubts. Real growth isn't a straight line. It's messy, non-linear, and deeply personal. So the next time you feel lost despite doing everything right, remember that the path to feeling found isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters to you, not to the algorithm, not to society, not to your past self who was chasing someone else's definition of success. You're not lost because you're failing. You're lost because you're growing beyond the map you've been given. And that's not just okay. It's exactly where you're supposed to be. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments what made you feel seen today. Until next time, be gentle with yourself as you find your way.